Greetings, chess fans. I'm back. I have a fresh video, and it's gonna feature the bishop pair. Pretty cool. At least I hope so. This is round 7 analysis from Chess's Rapid Tournament. I played my beloved ready opening. It's gonna be execution of a long-term plan. So grab some popcorn, enjoy. Round number 7. Round number 7, I played against true Latvian chess legend. She is a woman grandmaster, a former world youth champion under 14, Laura Rogole. And she's also 13-time Latvian champion. I think I'm not terribly mistaken. 13 times she has won the Latvian championship. Everybody knows Laura. She is one of the most favorite players in the local community, and also her kids are becoming strong players. And I have played against Laura many times, and she is a very ambitious player. I'm playing with white. I'm trying to win because I just lost previous game, and I have to strike back. Of course, I played the ready opening. G3. Even though, the other day, somebody posted on my YouTube channel, is this the ready opening? Like, according to the chess fan who posted this, I don't remember your username, pardon me, I could have looked up. The pure ready is playing c4. I disagree. I think that ready is knight f3 with either g3 or whatever, and then you at some future lines you play c4, and any kings in an attack is g3 bishop g2 show castle. If you play d3 4, that's the kings in an attack. But actually, I asked this opinion on social media, and even some very respectable grandmaster, they said like they didn't know where's the actual line between these two variations, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. I don't think it really dramatically changes the line. Where starts the ready? Where starts the kings in and attack? Where starts the whatever line? Yeah, so whatever. Who cares? Yeah. So to me, this is the ready. Somebody says it's not the ready. Fine, whatever. If you say so. So c6. This is one of the solid chesses for black. Bishop g4, I play h3. This h3 move is something I have talked about in my third Chessable course. I have written 5 courses in total for Chessable, and the third one was in 100 variations to explain kings in an attack setup. So the idea of this h3 move is to define the placement of the bishop on g4. Because if you take on f3, I've reserved the opportunity to get the 2 bishop advantage in the long run, open up the position, and then try to use the bishop pair. Or the second idea is to play e takes on f3. And I've been having pretty good success in this line, because white plays f4, d3, knight e2, knight f3, bishop e3, and eventually we're still going back to the discussion that white has the bishop pair. Engines, by the way, do not fully support this entire idea. Like, they're saying some other lines a bit better, but I think it's very easy to carry out. And I really like it. I really do. And the other idea of why h3 including is so nice, because there's some lines like after bishop h5. I have 2 ideas. So idea number 1 is I can play, as happened in the game, d3, knight e2, e5, e4. Let's say black decides to take on e4. There will be moments when I will walk away from the pin and black is committed to bishop h5. He cannot go back bishop e6. This is a pretty important detail. The other idea why having committed to h3 so early is good, I can play c4. Like, now I go back to the ready. Let's say I play c takes on d5. If black plays e takes on d5, I have this very interesting idea let's say play d4, knight e7, queen b3, hit the pawn, queen e3, knight h4, knight f5. If the bishop was on g4, this would be impossible. If having already c-takes included, I would have played h3, he would retreat to f5, not on h5. So that's why I think it's actually a pretty smart idea that you start with the move early and you don't really reveal your cards. Are you going to play d3, e4? Are you going to play c4? Are you going to play d4, c4? You keep all the options open. After bishop takes on f3, are you going to take with a bishop? Are you going to take with a pawn? That's why I usually include h3 as quickly as possible. She went here. Now we are playing the kings in an attack. e5, e4. And I was pretty sure that she has to take it here. And I'm about to play something like queen e1 and knight c4 or knight b3. It really depends where the bishop goes. The nuances I'm discussing in my chessable course. And she played here. I'm thinking, wait. I'm pretty sure this was not really that great, according to my memory, because if I now take on d5 to open up my bishop, I play g4, and I play knight h4. I get the bishop pair, and I get to open up the long diagonal for my bishop with c4. The only thing is, I'm not really sure, is this the position? Because I'm trying to recall, there was a very similar line, but where was the knight standing? Was it on d2 or b1? Or maybe I'm mixing it up. Maybe it was a very similar line where I'm supposed to play g4 and knight h4, and the knight is supposed to be on b1 so that I can play c4 and knight c3. Target opponent d5. Now, this is what I cannot remember during my game. And I remember it wrong. So, actually, e takes on d5 is correct, but I should have started with c4 right now. Immediately play c4, try to open up the long diagonal. If she now plays d4, I think I can play like this. And wait, actually, what was the line here? I forgot. c4, d4. Forgot to check this line. Let me check it. I forgot to check this. Yeah, d4 looks very logical. There's something wrong with this line. It's not even wrong. Oh, there's a very interesting ideas like I can play c5, knight x on c5 and knight c4, which gives white an edge. But the engine actually here says b4 is very good. With the same idea to play c5, knight c4, some reverse Bedoni, and if he takes on b4, now I play g4. Oh, there's the trick. Knight e5, knight e5. This is a very famous trick. Knight c6, bishop c6, and his king is in trouble. I have seen this line. I mean, this idea, but not with the particular execution of the moves in this particular move order. And black's in trouble because his king is much more exposed. Like you could say my king is exposed, and I would say the black king is feeling under a lot of heat. So yeah, it was c4, and if she would go here, I would take on d5, play queen b3. You see the knight on d7, it's supposed to be standing on c6, not on d7. And I'm opening up the position for a symmetrical position, but my pieces are slightly better. And there's Richard Roberts, queen a3. Actually, no. I think in Roberts' game it was the king. Yeah, it was the king on a3. Recently, Richard Rappert, the Hungarian chess legend, played a crazy game against Arjun Arigaisi, I think, in one of the recent super tournaments in Uzbekistan Cup, I think. And he had a king on a3. Okay, this is a queen, obviously, so it's not the same. I play g4. I play knight h4. I try to carry out the idea. And here, Laura made a pretty weird move, like queen a7. And I feel again we are going to talk about the universal moves. And if you are closely following the game analysis of my previous rounds, you know what is the universal move, and I've been talking about it in all the previous games. The thing about queen a7 is I'm not really sure what it does on e7. So I would always strictly follow the rule. Start with the moves that you know. So if Laura plays queen e7, does she really expect a long castle? Really? The queen side is quite exposed, and I want to play c4 anyway. So taking that into account, black should have played shook castle. This is where the king feels safe. I would take on g6, I would try to play c4, and now you get the knight on c5. And black is doing very much fine, like c takes on d5, knight takes on d3, and it's just balanced position. I have nothing. So I had mixed it up with another line where I had the knight on b1, not on d2. But she played this weird move, queen e7, hinting at the long castle, and I'm saying it's not gonna happen. I play c4, and here Laura basically had to accept that a long castle is not gonna happen. Actually, I did not even check why. There could be many moves. The obvious move candidate is c takes d5 and knight c4, but I'm thinking I could even play like b4. b4, c5, queen a4, open up the position. Bishop takes on b4 and rook b1. Easiest pawn sack in the history of chess. Like queen a4, everything is opening up. This pawn doesn't matter. The king is in direct line of sight for attack, so there's no way this is gonna work for black. So that's why I'm saying, I mean, this queen e7 is just weird. Like, she should have understood that long castle is simply too optimistic, and it's not gonna work. And this move got back in trouble, got black in trouble. So I took on g6, I played c4. She defended the pawn. I took on d5. She went here because knight takes on d5 drops the knight. So she has to take with this knight. I play knight c4. Now she played rook d8, another bit weird move. I just couldn't figure out why she's delaying the shook castle. So actually, I think the idea of the shook castle delay was, there was this moment, I think it was here. Yeah, I can just take on d6 and play d4. This was one of my ideas. I tried to get something like this. We have a completely symmetrical pawn structure, but I have two bishops. Complete two bishops against two knights with an open position, so I guess I'm dominating. Obviously, it's much more complicated than that, but I just oversimplified things. She played rook d8, I suppose, against the d4 idea, but kept the king in the center, which is pretty dangerous. I play rook e1, apply some pressure. I play queen b3. I gotta confess, I'm not exactly sure about this move order. Was it really rook e1, knight c4, queen b3? Was it queen b3, knight c4, rook e1? What I'm sure about is we got exactly to this position after bishop b8. So maybe actually it was a bit different. Maybe it was first queen b3 here, and then rook e1. Yeah, this is a detail I cannot recall. And now f4. I'm not really sure it's gonna work because of the weakened king. Like here, I did not really seriously consider it. Like, I think that black can probably just takes and play check, and somehow, yeah, there's even knight x and f4. My queen on d1 is exposed. Before the castle, f4 here. It looks very risky. I don't think I would have played it. Like takes, 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 rook e1, bishop e5 or bishop c5. I don't believe it. Like the bishop goes to e3. let's say I play bishop takes on d5. Oh wait, that's even a check what I'm talking about. No, f4 doesn't work here. My king is too exposed. So we go to this position, and there's a small Grandmaster secret to you. Now, when you're looking at this position, you are wondering, what should I do? And I have noticed very often that's the difference between title players, most namely Grandmasters, and club level players. Because when a club level player looks at this position, he sees, oh, I have a weak pawn on d3, I have to trade it. And he also sees I have the bishop pair, so if I play at some point d4, I open up the position, I trade a weak pawn, and then I'm doing better, etc. I'm thinking it's not about the pawn on d3 at all. Nobody cares about a pawn on d3. Actually, if there was a scenario I could even sack it, I don't really need it. What I needed is to find a target. And this is again the 3-question rule, very famously advertised by the Danish chess coach and author, the true chess legend Jakob Agard, who says, always ask 3 questions. What is your opponent's plan? I think black wants to start the kingside attack. What is your worst placed piece? And what are the weaknesses? The worst placed piece here for me, I don't think I have them, like maybe undeveloped the queenside pieces like the rook at a1 and the bishop on c1. But what are the weaknesses? I think it's the pawn on b7. I think so. So I have the bishop on g2 and the queen on b3 looking at the pawn on b7 indirectly. So what I do, I take on b6. He cast take with the knight because the knight on d5 is hanging. I play a4. So you see again, I'm not even developing the bishop on c1 because I don't know yet where I'm going to place it. I do not know. Is it going to be bishop d2? Is it going to be bishop e3? Maybe bishop g5? We'll see. But I know for sure that's a target. So what I need is information. She played queen e7. She's targeting the pawn, also enabling knight e5 idea. I play a5. I play bishop g5. Provoke a weakness on the long diagonal. She plays f6. I go here. Now, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to exploit those weakened light squares in the long run. But they're there. So maybe, depending how the game is going to turn, there will be an opportunity for me to exploit the weakening of the light squares. And again, I don't think it's about a pawn on d3 at all. Here she played a pretty weird move, g5, which I cannot really explain because black already controls that f4 square. Why do you need to play g5 and further weaken all the light squares around your king? And I thought that black has to do something like this. And this. Like get rid of the weakness. Sure, black has some problems with the light squares, but I don't think it's really so dramatic. And also, black is also thinking about some knight f4 ideas in the future, right? I definitely thought I kept some pressure here, but g5 is not helping black at all. So I play rook c1, rather than rook c5. She went here. I played rook c5. And now the big idea is she's not in time to play knight f4 because of this useless g5 move. I can take it and I just win the exchange. She went here. And down here I spent quite a bit of time. Imagine this. So I have here maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And Laura, as usual, she's in time scramble because she just can't help it. She's always playing on seconds. She had maybe 30 seconds or so. And I'm trying to calculate the following line. Please stay with me. So I'm thinking, can I take it? I mean, I conquered the weakness. She takes on d3. I play bishop e3. She plays knight e6. So she hits my queen. And she hits my knight. I see the move. Rook d5. I see it. It's a crazy move. I leave the queen under attack. If she takes on d5, I take with the queen. I have two bishops. I have an outside pass pawn on the queen side. I know much better. So she probably takes it here. I take on d3. Now my rook is hanging, but so is her rook on b7. So she takes on d3. I take on b7. And I guess I'm better? But I'm not entirely sure. And I'm looking at this entire line. I'm calculating. I'm spending 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Maybe not 3 minutes, because I feel like this is a critical moment of the game. And I'm thinking, this is too difficult line for a rapid game. Why I'm doing this? So I think I see the line correctly, but it feels like if I miscalculate some things, if I miss some intermezzo move right now, like rook d5, there's some freak move, intermezzo move or check or something, I'm done. I'm done with the queen. Even though I don't see what's wrong with it. So I decide not to go there. After the game I checked with computer, I was absolutely correct. So my calculation was spot on, but the prior experience of making safer choices played a role in this situation. So I decided this is too crazy for a rapid game. That's why, once again, I think that this is one of the utmost important qualities of a professional chess player. Calculate lines precisely and quickly, and do not doubt yourself. I doubted myself. I play bishop e3 instead, which, by the way, is a still pretty decent move. And here Laura missed an opportunity to try to stay in the game with knight e6. To be honest, I do not even see what I'm going to do against that, because after rook d5, there's bishop d6, and there's a very blatant knight c7 idea. But actually, now that I'm thinking, maybe I can sacrifice the exchange. Probably just take it. She plays like knight f4, and I'm playing, I don't know what I'm playing. Some bishop e6. Like, it feels pretty good. But I also think that Laura did not really think about her strategy as follows. So this is very often what people forget. When you are doing much better, you're always trying to clarify things. This is your golden rule. When you are in trouble, and I think Laura should suspect that she's in trouble, you always try to complicate matters. So even though objectively, if she's doing not so great after bishop d6, she's complicating matters. So this is how she should do. And instead, yeah, she decided to take on d3, simplifying the position, which works for me. Actually, after the game, I talked with her. She was really surprised I didn't play bishop e4. This was the big idea. She was expecting bishop e4. I didn't play bishop e4. She was very surprised. And that's why maybe the reaction kicked in. Since I'm not protecting the pawn, she's going to grab the pawn on d3. But also at the same time, this allows me to simplify the game to a clear advantage where my bishops are really strong. So you see, this is how complicated chess can be at the professional level. So she took on d3, I took on b7. Of course, I saw knight e6, but knight e6, I have rook c8 check, no big deal. I have two bishops, outside pass pawn. Now I play b4, those pawns have to roll forward, connect the bishops. Also use some tactical tricks, like black can never take on b5. There's always some fork ideas on c6, or actually this is not a fork, it's, what is this? Skewer, is it? Yeah, must be skewer. And the game, by the way, wrapped up very quickly because I was finding a lot of easy moves. Again, bishop c6 is a problem here. I push forward the pawn. b6 takes. So now my big idea here is I want to go here and here. And I just don't see what black can do to stop me. Maybe something. Now knight e4 just drops the rook. So on top of that, black has difficulties to make good moves. My king is really safe, which you cannot say about black. Knight c5 just drops a piece, and essentially this is what she did after this. I just dropped the piece. And I took it. And now it's time to convert. Trade. I won the game. Like, without a fight, basically, after this. Yeah, here the engine also confirms after rook c8, b6, it just lights out. There's nothing black can do. Rook a1, rook a7, 2 bishops, monstrous bishops. It's all about carrying out the plan that I started from the very beginning. Get the bishops, open up the position. This is why I play the Reti. You see, I play h3, I try to get the bishop pair. Takes, g4, knight h4. This is the secret that many grandmasters possibly are keeping to themselves, is that one of the most popular advantages in the long run is the bishop pair. You get the bishop pair, in the long run, you try to open up the position. I utilize the power of the bishop. You see, the bishop here in g2 and the bishop on c1 doesn't really make much of a big deal. But when you look at the position a couple of moves later, where was it? Right here, you see, that's a very beautiful pair. That's it.